We interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
It's Wednesday. It's 6 p.m. It's the ThinkSoJoE Show!
It was good. It was a good push.
Yeah, I lost it a little bit there. These people still seem to like it, though.
Yeah.
It's all good. Hey, we're on all WNY this week. We're not broadcasting live on YouTube. The podcast will be on YouTube, but it's not going to be us on screen because we kind of slept until like 5:30.
Not a lie.
Well, I mean,
I got up at 5:30 this morning.
and I got up at like 9.
Right.
So I got up at 9 because, well, it's New Gear Day. And whenever it's New Gear Day, I just know that FedEx is going to throw my shit on the porch and jet.
Yep.
And throw it in plain sight. So, literally, I was up, I was waiting. I'm like, all right, well, you know, I bought a patch yesterday for my vest. I'm gonna put this patch on, and then I'm gonna, I'll listen to this Hall & Oates record I bought, and that way, when the FedEx guy gets here, I'll go, catch him, be like, dude, can you like throw shit inside the front door? Like, it's unlocked, just throw it in here. That way it's not in plain sight with all these, people posting videos about their packages getting stolen and shit.
Right.
So I see the dude pull up, and by time I get from the dining room across the living room to the door, this guy's already his truck gone.
Oh, shit, really?
And the package is sitting upside down on the porch.
Oh, my God.
In plain sight. Like, well, goddamn, all right, I'm glad I was up and...
True.
got to grab this and, like, what the hell, dude? And this is the typical, situation that I run into with FedEx.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty consistent.
And literally, I got gear yesterday delivered by FedEx. Same deal.
Yeah.
Like, it was on the porch when I got the text. I got the text saying, "Oh, your package is here," and I went out. Sure enough, right in plain sight on the porch. UPS always takes the time to throw the stuff at least off to the side.
Yeah, they usually throw it in the door.
If they don't throw it in the door, they at least take the time to throw it off to the side. Now,
and they even yell UPS when they walk in that front door there.
Oh, I didn't, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Cool. Well, you got a package today, too, that was of significantly less monetary value than the package I got today. And yours was delivered by USPS.
Okay.
And it was right inside the front door when I went to go get it.
Wow.
Because, your $13 bakery, baking stuff is, less is more
higher priority.
Yeah, less vulnerable to be stolen than my $650 musical equipment.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, it's New Gear Day. Hey, that guy's got the same keyboard I got. No, that's a different keyboard, different brand. This guy, apparently somebody got pulled over for speeding, and he was using his semi-truck as a recording studio.
That's hilarious.
That's an interesting headline. I'll have to check that out.
I wonder if it had to be driving in order to record, like, speed rules.
Ooh, maybe. I don't know. That's an interesting... Let's look into this. This was shared by Ryan Burrows, so who knows how old it is. Oh, it's only a couple of days. All right.
All right.
Wonder if the driver was hauling oats. Get it? Hauling oats.
Yeah. Yeah.
A Washington State trooper was surprised to find a semi-truck he pulled over this week was being used by its driver as a recording studio, complete with party supplies. Public Information Officer Chris Thorson posted a photo on Instagram Monday showing the supersonic cabin of a semi-truck one of his fellow officers pulled over. It contained what appeared to be a computerized mixer, headphones, and other electronic equipment. Thorson also added that the cabin also included a microphone that dropped from the ceiling. His photo also showed a bag of white powder and what appears to be drug paraphernalia that was reportedly found in the unidentified aspiring recording artist's truck.
Oh, identify him. Identify.
Just when you thought you've heard it all, why give him publicity? Then he's just gonna be famous. You know, his name's gonna be Lil Semi, and
Lil Semi.
He's
But that's a good story though.
Anyway.
Come on.
Just when you thought you've heard it all, Trooper Trombley spotted a semi-truck driver for speeding, 17 over. After arresting the driver for suspicion of DUI and drugs, he found out that the suspect produces and records music while driving down the highway.
How fucking
Thorson
funny.
hashtagged that it was, quote, not acceptable to mix hauling cargo and rocking the house. Washington's long been a hotbed of all music genres. The state has produced acts including Jimi Hendrix, Bing Crosby, Nirvana, Kenny Loggins, and Sir Mix-a-Lot. Notice they didn't say Pearl Jam, even though they were forefathers of the Seattle grunge scene.
You know what? I'm sick of hearing about Pearl Jam today.
I'm always sick of hearing about Pearl Jam.
I don't talk about Pearl Jam as much as you do.
I was out with my buddy last night, and we were talking about how I don't listen to records much. As much money as I put into records and buy records, I don't get to listen to them much because we don't listen to the same music. We listen to the same genres of music. We just don't listen to the same music.
No.
And, I mentioned that you don't like Metallica, and he was oh, well, what bands does Karina like that you don't like? And I'm like, well, she likes Glassjaw and she likes Pearl Jam. And he's like, oh, yeah, you don't like Pearl Jam because you think Eddie Vedder sings through his throat. I'm like, no, I don't like Pearl Jam because Eddie Vedder does sing through his throat. We got Josh from those guys. Now, that's dedication right there if you have a studio in your truck.
It is.
Yeah, he's right. Those guys playing Saturday at the Mohawk Place.
Saturday is 15th.
It
Chris
is
Farley's birthday.
Yes, it is Chris Farley's birthday bash featuring the one and only Yellow Sauce as well.
I know.
I'm excited. I haven't played a Yellow Sauce gig in months.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that on Saturday.
Gosh, it has been a long time.
At the Helm's on that show too. I haven't seen At the Helm in I don't know how long.
My
Those are my
God.
boys. We were just watching some videos this morning that were it was a mashup of videos that were produced by Mr. Johnny Helms.
Yes.
And it was because we were watching some 90s music videos on YouTube. And there was a series of like 3 Stone Temple Pilots videos in a row, or 2 or something like that. But Stone Temple Pilots video came on and it got me thinking about when they were searching for a singer. Mm-hmm. And my buddy Ski he auditioned on a few songs, posted the videos. And I was like, oh man, I bet if I search for Stone Temple Pilots, I could find these videos. So I found Ski's videos, and then I found Joe Caffarella from STEM's videos because I knew he had some too, and he just had a mashup of them that were recorded in the music lab with John Helms.
Nice.
And the video was shot by our friend Mike Miller.
Yeah.
So
haven't talked to him in a hot minute.
No, it's been a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so of course, Joe is also in a Pearl Jam tribute band called Mookie Blaylock. So there you go. It all comes back to throat singing guy.
There we go.
Well, I think I admitted this morning to you. I said, you know what? I think I've just heard the wrong Pearl Jam songs.
What if we sat down?
Maybe. Let's do that. I think maybe I've heard the wrong Pearl Jam songs because I was sitting there and this video comes on, right? And it starts similarly to the way better video for Megadeth's 99 Ways to Die. And I'm like, ooh. I'm thinking, holy shit, somebody put Megadeth on this playlist.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be 99 Ways to Die. I haven't seen this video in so long. And then it's, I'm like, oh no, not this fucking song. And then I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the song and I'm like, you know what? Like, even if I didn't dislike the way Eddie Vedder sings songs, it's not that I don't like his voice. I dislike the way he sings because I think he's a fantastic vocalist. Mm-hmm. I think he has the potential to be one of the best vocalists, but he's out there singing like this. And it's terrible. But, like, and that's been my biggest problem with Pearl Jam over these years. But watch the video for Jeremy and realize, like, no, this is just an awful fucking song. It's not his voice that bothers me. It's that the song itself is just fucking terrible. And so that's when I started thinking, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been wrong all these years. Maybe I might like Pearl Jam if I actually sat down and gave them a chance outside of their singles. Because I do like Pearl Jam songs. Like, I like Black is a really good song. I still think Aaron Lewis from Stained did a better version of it, but that's besides the point. And then there's, like, what's that? Elderly Woman
Behind a Counter.
Yeah, that song. I like that song. Like I like some songs by Pearl Jam. And I don't mind his voice on a lot of the slower songs because he's actually, like, singing. He's not doing that whole throat thing, like an even flow. The only thing I hate about the song Even Flow is his voice. That one I will say is...
That sucks.
Yeah, because I like that song, just I don't like the... You know, like, dude, no, you're such a good singer. Stop that. And then I also realized that Scott Weiland does the same thing, but I like Scott Weiland, so... Scott Weiland, I guess I should say, right?
You know, have I told you before? I know I've told you before, but maybe I haven't told all of them before. My first day working as a stagehand at the Rapids Theater was Stone Temple Pilots concert, 2011 maybe, and I got to work spotlight on Scott Weiland. Like, there were 3 spotlights, and the other 2 spotlight operators were like, not it. Karina's stuck on Scott Weiland, and he was a squirmy worm. Like, for my first, like, professional gig doing spotlight, that was pretty awesome. And then, like, I turn around after the gig's over, and one of my super good friends from NCCC is standing right there with his girlfriend, and I just, like, was on such an adrenaline high. I, like, went over and, like, jumped on him. Was like, hey, man, you know? And his girlfriend's just like...
So I was telling you, like, I went to the show, the only time I saw Stone Temple Pilots. And this show was the Family Values Tour, which it was the third year of the tour. Like, the founding bands, Korn and Limp Bizkit and all them weren't on it. It was Stone Temple Pilots, Linkin Park, Static X, Stained, and Dead Sea. And, like, 3 of the 5 frontmen are gone.
Yeah, wow.
Like that's just terrible, tragic, you know, like, I mean, I didn't really care much for Linkin Park after their first couple albums, but like, you know, it's still sad that he's gone. Yeah. It's sad that Scott Weiland's gone. It's sad that Wayne Static is gone, especially Wayne Static. That's the only band I got to see more than once out of that. The ones that are no longer with us out of that group anyway. I've seen Stained a whole bunch of times too. I'm
actually really jealous of that. I love Stained.
I hope they like do a tour, like a reunion tour or something. That would
be sweet.
Because they are phenomenal. I've seen them at least like 3 times, I think. Wow. The first time was with Korn.
Okay.
It was it was a tour for Issues, and it was like, at the time, it was the loudest rock concerts like ever. Were the shows on Korn's tour. So I don't know if that still holds up.
No.
But yeah, I went to Revolver Records last night over on Elmwood.
Yeah.
Shout out to Revolver Records. They're not paying me to say this. Just I happened to go there last night. I went to ETS, also not paying me to say this.
What did you get at ETS? I didn't ask you.
I just got a beef and bean burrito.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot, medium, mild?
Medium.
Did you get rice in it?
No.
Good. That's disgusting.
It was my second beef and bean burrito in the last week, because I also went to Colosso last Thursday.
Oh, you lucky jerk!
Well, Brian was hungry. We were at we went and saw John's other band, Forget the Sorrows.
Yeah.
And it was their first show, even though they've been together longer than John's been in Living Brain Dead.
Oh wow!
But it was their first show, and we Brian and Kevin and I went to go support them. We went over to Colosso while the opening bands were getting ready to play. And, because Brian wanted to see Forget the Sorrows, he wanted to see the headliners. And so it's like, all right, let's, sure, I can, we'll go with you. We'll get food. Sure. So we went over there. We're discussing band stuff, like, album art, stuff like that. Anyway, so we're discussing all of that, and we get to, so we went to Colossal, we ate, and we had a discussion. When we came back to Stamps, figuring, okay, John's band should be on pretty soon. John's nowhere to be found. Where the fuck did our drummer go? Where's John? We see the rest of his band. Where's he? Turns out he forgot his cymbals and had to go home and get them. The way. How
far was home?
Lockport.
That's right.
Yes.
It was not really around the corner.
Lockport, not very close to Stamps.
No.
So he had to go home, get his cymbals, and come back. So a couple of days later, we're in discussions to play a show out of town. And we're talking about, they're offering up a kit for him to play, which a lot of the time John will say no to that. So I was surprised. So he must have really wanted to play this show because he was like, yeah, if we can just switch it to lefty, I can do it. Like, okay, cool. And I'm like, so we're discussing like how, what gear we need to bring and how we can get there and everything. And I said, oh yeah, even if we got to bring snares and a cymbal or, a snare and cymbals for John, we could probably get everything we need in a rental car if we don't have to bring drums. And they have monitors and everything. And John just goes, yeah, cymbals. I had completely forgot about that until he said that. And I'm like, oh yeah, there's the joke. Yeah, so he finally got back and his band played and we ended up going home because the show was running like super late.
Yeah.
We saw this band from Rochester. What the heck were their names? I don't remember their names.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. They weren't bad. They weren't loud either.
Oh.
Like for whatever, and Chuck was doing sound, so you would think, Chuck knows how to appropriately make a volume for a show.
Right.
I guess like Brian was saying then, oh no, their amps aren't that good, so that's why they're not that loud. And Kevin and I are kind of standing there just kind of making fun of them a little bit and not not to be dicks about it, just sitting there like, cause they're young kids, they're like teenagers. And we're like, hey, do you remember when we used to be young and thought it was really cool to have a grand entrance onto the stage, even though you just set up your gear 5 seconds ago and everybody saw you? Like, it's cool that you have a stage show, guys, but like, play that at Mohawk Place. Don't play that at Stamps, or Montage because they're from Rochester, wherever,
Right.
So, it was a fun show while we were there. We kind of, there were some sound problems because not anything to do with Chuck. So we'll say that. But Brian and I were kind of trying to give the guitar player some helpful advice of how to fix the problems he was having. So hopefully he'll listen and the next show will go a little bit smoother. Yeah. But you know how those first shows go. The first Living Brain Dead show wasn't great, where I hung one of my guitars up, grabbed the other one, and forgot to plug it in. And I'm like trying to make fun of XM Priory at the same time. Yeah, that's I watched that not too long ago, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want to see if John brings his cymbals to the next show, it's March 7th at the Tudor Lounge.
That should be fun.
It's only a few weeks away. We're opening for the Barksdales CD release show.
Sweet. With
Lucky 33 and the Clockers.
Oh, my.
Yeah, like, how did we just get on this really cool punk show?
Yeah.
I saw a meme. Somebody posted a meme, and it was 400 Facebook likes, and we've never played a single note. You've never heard us play a single note. And it's a comment from the Living Brain Dead page that said, hey, that sounds like a band I know. Before we played a show, we had like 600 plus likes.
That's funny.
All about marketing and branding.
It is.
Yep. I even have new guitar picks coming in.
Yeah, those looked cool. You showed me the proof.
Because a $650 guitar pedal and another $70 guitar pedal along with it wasn't enough.
No.
Well, it wasn't enough money to spend in a weekend.
No, not at all.
On top of Guns N' Roses tickets that I bought a few days before that. Ticket, yes. Ticket.
I'm not going to that shit.
I'm going to see Guns N' Roses.
I'm very excited for you. I don't want to go.
Oh, look at this. Look at this lineup. Look at this. This is July 18th. I just got this from Josh, from those guys, also formerly of the Hovelists, who are playing a reunion show.
Oh, shit.
At the plant in Olean. It is July 18th. And opening that show are Axton Smashed,
Okay.
The Scarecrow Show,
Okay.
and The Living Brain Dead.
Oh, shit.
We do not follow The Scarecrow Show.
No.
We do not. That is a rule. But that's going to be an awesome show. We're looking forward to that. Finally being able to get down to Olean and play a show.
Yeah, that should be pretty sweet.
Getting kind of all over the place here a little bit. We unfortunately we were unable to come to terms to that's from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. that show on the 18th of July. We were unable to come to terms. We almost had a show in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Almost. We're gonna try she's gonna try and get us on the next one she puts on, but unfortunately we are unable to do it.
Yeah.
It was our end that was unable to do it, so it'll happen.
It'll happen.
And I really think it's really cool that we've been a band since May of last year. We played our first show in August, and we're already kind of getting offers for shows outside of Buffalo and outside of Western New York, and just we don't have music available. We do. I mean, we got the YouTube channel. You can watch, all the YouTube stuff. But, we don't have actual music to, submit, to be like, oh, hey, yeah, we want to play that. Here, listen to this. So, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, my understanding is vocals are being recorded today.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. Which means that's one less listener than usual. But, yeah. Yeah, so hopefully very, very, very soon we'll be able to finalize everything and get all details out and let everybody know what's going on. Yeah. So if you haven't checked it out yet, we've got the brand new livingbraindead.com is up and running.
Looks good, looks good.
You can click on the little shopping cart on there. It'll take you to our Bandcamp where you can buy some merch, some tickets. I just had to send out some merch yesterday.
Yeah.
And believe me, I am not charging enough for shipping. I had to ship out a hoodie yesterday, and I was charging $7 and something, I think, for shipping. Mm-hmm. And it ended up costing me like $11
with the
envelope, with the packaging. Yeah. So I'm gonna buy some bulk packaging and hopefully just kind of
see how that
reduce
goes.
that cost. I did raise the price to the base price of the shipping, so that will at least cover that. It's now $8.25 shipping for the hoodies. Of course, if anybody wants a Living Brain Dead hoodie and just wants to be like, all right, hey man, I need a hoodie. Okay, cool. PayPal me. You can come to a show.
Yeah,
and I'll give you the hoodie there because it'll save you $8.25 or whatever for shipping. But yeah, so it's cool because the day we put up the merch store, we got a sale.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's okay, cool. Yeah, I'll and now I got to order a hoodie so I can make a hoodie and send the hoodie. So, And I went yesterday to the post office because my buddy, I said my buddy was gonna come up here and hang out with me, and we haven't hung out in a while. So it's oh, okay, what time are you coming? He's like, I'll be up in Buffalo around 4. I said, all right, here's what I'll do. I'm gonna go to the post office, and then I'll just meet you there around 4. So I went up to the post office. I got there around 3, and I'm standing in line. There's one window, I guess you would call it, open. Mm-hmm. And, so I'm just standing there waiting. This, whatever this lady's got going on, it's taking forever. So I'm standing there waiting. The guy behind me is like,
oh, God.
Achoo! And then, muttering to himself under his breath about how shitty it is that he's got to wait in line like everybody else. So finally, you know, a girl comes out. She says, "Hey, does anybody just have a drop-off or pickup? Nothing that needs to be weighed or stamped or anything, just pickups and drop-offs." And this one guy's like, "Hey, I got certified mail ready to go out, and I've already got postage on it." And he goes to give it to the girl, and she's like, "Oh, no, you still need stamps, dude. You need to get back in line." Well, I mean, but, you know, back to his place in line.
Okay.
Because nobody in the line, except maybe the guy behind me, is going to be a dick and be like, "Nah, dude, you got to get to the back of the line now. You had your turn, motherfucker." You know? So, you know, then another guy comes over and opens a window. So now you got 3 windows open, but one window ain't doing shit because it's just pickups or drop-offs, and nobody's got pickups or drop-offs.
Of course.
So we all got to stand there and wait. And finally, I got, you know, up to the counter, and, you know, she told me what my total was. And I said, "Is there any cheaper way than this?" She said, "No, this is probably the cheapest." So I finally got out of the post office, got over to the bus station, waiting for my buddy to get up here. And while I'm waiting, I decided to go on UPS and FedEx and everything and just kind of price. And everything's pretty similarly priced, so I'm surprised how expensive it is to ship a hoodie.
Yeah.
Like $8 for just to ship a hoodie. It's crazy. But yeah, so I'm looking into packaging and shit to just kind of make it easier on myself.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
And, you know, so like when we get the money for the hoodies, I just have to buy the hoodie, and then the rest can go into the band fund, and I don't have to worry about it. But,
yeah.
So my buddy came up, and he might be leaving for Virginia soon. He got a job offer, and
That's awesome.
you know, his boyfriend got a job offer with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and you know, neither one of them have really anything tying them here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my buddy's mom is still here, and she's just got placed with a family to take care of her. Yeah, but it's like he doesn't drive either, so it's difficult for him to get to her.
Yeah.
So he knowing that she's being taken care of, he's more receptive to taking this job offer. And his boyfriend's got nothing here now because his parents died and everything. So,
Yeah,
so he's, you know, kind of probably needs the change of scenery. So they are probably going to take up this job offer in Virginia, and they don't know when they're going. They don't know. They want to go down first and, you know, check it out and everything before they commit to it.
Yeah.
So basically at this point, it's, you know, it's probably just a matter of when, not if.
Yeah.
So he wanted to hang out. He texted me, "Oh, you know, let's hang out on Elmwood." And we always go to the bookstore. We go to the taco place. And we go to the record store. So usually, and usually in that order. But he, I was hungry, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna run into ETS and use the bathroom real quick, and then we could go to the bookstore." I'm like, "Dude, if we're going to ETS, we're eating." So we went and we ate at ETS, and I got my beef and bean burrito, and that's when I got my text with my guitar picks.
Oh, yeah.
And sent that to you while I was waiting for him to get his food and come sit down so we could continue our discussion or whatever. And I showed him the picks and everything. He said, "Oh, I still got your pick from the show I went to."
Oh, yeah, Electric Avenue
I was
there.
like, "Yeah, all the way back at our second show with our old drummer."
Yeah, that's nuts.
And so you know, we sat down and ate, and then we went to the bookstore, and you know, he asked for a plastic bag.
Oh dear.
And
this is a thing now.
This is the thing. Well, you know, and so the guy goes, "Oh no, I can't. I don't have any." And the girl goes, "Well, you know, we do have some, and it's not quite March 1st yet.
Yeah.
So I can give you one, but next time, probably not." So, and they only had like the little ones that are big enough for one book. And then you know, I'm sitting there like, I don't want to go to the record store, dude. I just spent way too much money this weekend.
Right.
Like, I bought a Guns N' Roses ticket. I bought all this guitar gear. I bought guitar picks without realizing that, like, the guitar gear was still pending in my credit card.
Oh, shit.
So, like, I have less money than I anticipated having.
Oh, shit.
So I don't want to go to the record store. It's, "Oh, no, come on. You know you want to go to the record store. You know you want to go to the record store." And I think it was just his way of, like, let's hang out longer because I don't know if I'm ever going to see you again. You know? Like, So without, actually saying that, so we went to the record store and, jumped into conversation with the guy working at the record store. And I picked up Huey Lewis and the News Sports.
Yeah.
And I picked up Hall & Oates H2O. And an Alice Cooper patch for my vest.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And
I didn't see your vest.
I will show it to you when we go to the song break,
Okay.
coming up in just a second here.
Cool.
But yeah, so, and of course, when I grabbed the Hall & Oates record, the guy working there was like, I saw them on that tour. I'm like, you bastard. Like, I was going to see them in Toronto before Guns N' Roses had to ruin it by announcing that they were coming to Toronto 4 days later. And I don't want to go to both because I don't want to make that trip twice in a week.
Right. Yeah, that's a little much.
So, And he's like, well, isn't Hall & Oates coming to Darien? I'm like, one, I don't think so. And two, it's easier for me to get to Toronto.
Right, yeah.
So anyway, we've got the Abruptors. They're playing this Friday at Ironworks with K-Man and the 45s, Over and Out, and Working Class Stiffs.
Sounds pretty awesome.
That sounds like a great show. And a great venue at that. So
yeah, right.
It sounds great there. So this is the Abruptors. I wish it was the Interrupters. I wish we could go see the Interrupters at will, but
right, that would be great.
No, this is the Abruptors, and this song called "Rise and Fall" on all WNY. The Think So Joe Show. The Abruptors on all WNY. Think So Joe Show.
They're just so good. It's too bad I have plans Friday night.
I'm sure they wouldn't mind being confused for the Interrupters either.
I don't know.
They love their ska just as much as we do.
Right.
There's the Abruptors featuring local news personality, what's her name? Kaylee Lynch?
I think so.
Works for Channel 4 there.
Yeah.
You might see her report on a news story and then see her at Ironworks on Friday night. So
it's kind of funny to think of somebody
into
in
the microphone.
Sorry, I'm trying to fold myself. It's kind of funny to think of somebody in the music scene as so grown up that they're a news lady.
That they have a job.
Like, a news lady. Like, that's grown up shit.
Yeah.
Like, way too adult. That's like one of those jobs that people want to be when they grow up, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
so good on her for doing it. That's
exactly.
You know.
And I mean, I don't know
I've
how
thought
old
about
she is, but she looks like younger than me. And she's a news lady.
I've been over to over in that area where Channel 4 is, and I've walked by, and I'm like, man, you know, I read into a microphone for a living. Like, I could do this job. I should walk in and be like, hey, you know, how do I apply for a job here? But then, like, every time I'm over there, I'm just in, like, you know, shit that I would normally wear. So I'm like, shit, I can't go in there looking like this. So I'm like, isn't there a thrift store around here? I can just, like, go buy clothes. I could change. I could go in and be like, yo, how do I apply for a job? And then, like, it's like, no, never mind. I don't need it that badly. I'm already making enough money sitting in my house.
Yeah, not having to go anywhere.
Sitting in my house, and if I make a mistake, it's not live. unless it's on the podcast, of course. You know, anyway.
But who listens to this?
Anyways, yeah, February Alliance session, photo and video shoots. That's actually happening right now. That's for the Western New York Music Industry Alliance. I hate that these are on Wednesdays.
I know.
And only because it's at the same time as our show. And I would love to be at this meeting.
I know.
Isn't like Lee Hoffman one of the
I
Lee
think
Hoffman.
he is, yeah.
Lee Hoffman, Bob Mussel, Aaron Rizzo, and Danny Krembliss are speakers at this video photo and video shoot seminar here.
Yeah.
And like, you know, my band needs a photo shoot done. We know who we're going with. We just don't know what we're doing. And I'll tell you what, though, like anytime I've ever had a photo shoot done, the photographer's just like, yeah, just act natural. Like, yeah, I know we're in a cemetery. Just act natural.
Just act like this is what you do.
Yeah, I know we're in an abandoned mausoleum. Just act natural.
This is what you do, right? This is what you do.
I know we found a playground with broken playground equipment. Just act natural.
I come here every day.
Yes, I know I got you sitting in front of the Welcome to Niagara Falls sign, but just act natural. And I imagine that if I go on Twitter, my braids will show up any second now. from said photo shoot. Anyway, yeah. Laura said we should ban hoodies. That was 10 minutes ago. But anyway.
We're both wearing hoodies.
We are.
They're very comfy.
Yes. But anyway, yeah, like I would love to join the Music Industry Alliance, and I'd love to go to these events, but unfortunately, you know, these seminars, but unfortunately they're on at the same time as we're on, and I'm not postponing the show or scheduling the show around this. And they said,
first.
You know, and unfortunately, you know, that's just the times that they had available was Wednesdays where they felt like everybody might be available, and unfortunately we're not, and it sucks because I would love to head over to Thin Man Brewery and take a part of this. Like right now, this photo and video shoots for musicians session with Lee Hoffman, Bob Mussel, Aaron Rizzo, and Danny Krembliss is going on right now. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, you get a live music showcase with Max Davis, Reed Shull, and Mark Grover.
That's awesome.
So if you listen to the show, you're interested in this, it's $5 for non-members. It's free for paid members if you paid the $60 for the membership.
Yeah.
So you can head down and you can, you know, be a part of that.
$5 isn't bad, and like the $60 is a great value.
I mean, I think at this point it's probably, you know, a moot point to go because you'll miss most of the education, but you know, education portion it ends at 7:45, and then the live showcase is at 8. That's at Thin Man Brewery tonight at Elmwood. So head on down there if that's something you're interested in and you think you can make it to get enough information to be worth your $5.
Yeah.
I mean, even just the live music showcase is worth the $5.
Just the networking is worth the $5.
That too, absolutely. So we've got also going on tonight. This is at 8 o'clock at Penny Lane in Clarence. It is an open mic / open jam. Join us to share your musical talent or to enjoy the music, drinks, food, and great atmosphere.
Awesome. I have no idea where that is. Like, I know where Clarence is, and it's not very big, but I don't know where Penny Lane Cafe is.
I'm not sure either, so...
It doesn't seem like you're one to frequent Clarence.
No, I don't know when the last time I was in Clarence was.
I used to work in Clarence.
I'd like to go to the Eastern Hills Mall. I hear they got some nice, like, secondhand stores there.
Oh, yeah, they do.
I'd like to go there. That's why I would go to Clarence. I think the last time I was in Clarence was at the Eastern Hills Mall on my birthday.
But that's not Clarence. That's Williamsville, isn't it?
No, Eastern Hills Mall is Clarence.
I think it's right on the border.
I don't know.
Somebody's listening and knows.
I'm sure somebody will enlighten us. Going on tomorrow night, February the 13th, it's the Variety Show, hosted by Green Gymnast CC. Green Gymnast CC presents the Variety Show, featuring JQ Bless, Elaney and the Uprising, Tooth, Michael A.J. Cerrito, Jammin' Jesse Buckner, Jupiter Trolley, and then that's tomorrow night at the Hostel Buffalo Niagara. Doors at 7:15, 8 p.m. The show starts, $5 admission. So that's something to do tomorrow night if you're not going to 2000s night at the KeyBank Center.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
Yeah, I get to break out the slug, you guys. I haven't worn that jersey since they stopped wearing it.
What colors are the jerseys?
Blue and gold.
Blue and gold? Okay, I didn't know if the slug was blue and gold or if it was the red and black.
But you can wear the red and black jersey because they wore those for half the 2000.
That would be awesome because then I can wear my new red boots that my sister got for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
So we actually got good seats tomorrow night. I mean, not that there's any bad seats, but we actually got 100 level seats for.
I've never sat in 100 level seats.
I paid less for 200 level seats for tomorrow night's game than I've paid for single tickets to some games this season.
Wow.
So, and we're sitting really close to the organist, so now
which is super exciting for us.
So now I don't have an excuse to not go over and be like, "Hey man, I'm ThinkSoJoE from Twitter," because like. We had this whole thing going last season, where I'd go to a game and be like, dude, are you here? And he's like, no, you keep going to the games, I'm not there. And we finally were at a game together, but I was sitting in 300 levels. So I'm like, how do I do this? Do I just like go down in between periods? Mm-hmm. Or do I like go after the game? Like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And I never figured that out. So now, like when I saw that I could get, because a lot of the time when I go to games, my thought process on where to sit is, what is the cheapest seat I can get that has padded seats? Mm-hmm. And I found a 100-level seat for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And says, all right, cool. And look, it's a section over from the organist. Yes. So now I can finally go be like, hey, you're Curtis. I'm at ThinkSoJoE on Twitter. Like, finally, it's nice to meet you, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that counts as talking.
Thank him for rickrolling us.
That counts as talking about a local music show because he is a local musician.
He is. He plays at the Riviera. I've probably worked with him before.
Probably. We just talked about this show before the break. Friday, February 14th, The Abruptors. With K-Man and the 45s, Valentine's Day extravaganza with special guests Over and Out and Working Class Stiff, singular.
I feel like there's a couple stiffs involved.
I'm pretty sure there's like 4 of them. But anyway, yes. Abruptors are kicking off their mini tour with their friends from Montreal, K-Man and the 45s, right here in Buffalo, New York. They'll hit 4 dates with these awesome people, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Elora, and Toronto. And Asian Man's Stomp Records collaboration for the ages. They'll be joined by some of their favorite acts from the Buffalo scene, Over and Out and Working Class Stiffs.
Awesome.
That is that I might end up there. I might.
That's interesting.
I might. It's possible. Also Friday at the Gypsy Parlor, it is Valentine's Prom with at Gypsy with Lightwalker and DJ Hogan. Join the Gypsies this Valentine's Day for an evening of love. Dinner from 2:30 p.m. to 12 a.m. Man, that's a lot of fucking food if you're eating for, 10 and a half hours or 9.5 hours. Live music by Lightwalker from 8 to 10 p.m. The prom, feel free to wear your old school prom dress or a suit for a 90s dance party with DJ Hogan, brother. Win a dinner for 2 for prom king or queen by being best dressed.
Cool.
Also going on Friday is All WNY's 4th annual Black and Heart Ball. The 4th annual All WNY Black and Heart Ball is upon us. Come celebrate Valentine's Day the All WNY way. Costumes or formal wear are encouraged as we present a great show with BD2, the Neighbors Kids, and Hearts and Hand Grenades. By the way, not a Green Day tribute band. Friday, February 14th, doors at 8 p.m. Music starts at 9, $5 advance, $7 day of show, 21 and up with ID only at Stamps. Tickets pre-sale right now, allwnydeals.com.
Yes.
Yes, and that is, again, Hearts and Hand Grenades, not a Green Day tribute band.
No, but they sound pretty cool, and I'm really excited to see them.
But like you said, you mentioned them, and I was like, oh, heavily Green Day influenced, I bet. And you said, no, not at all. And so I mentioned to Brian this show, and Brian goes, they play Green Day? I said, no. So I feel the need to specify on behalf of Hearts and Hand Grenades that they are not a Green Day tribute band. So, you know, because I know if I was thinking it and Brian's thinking it, other people are thinking it too.
Right.
So not a Green Day tribute band. And, of course, the Neighbors Kids has Lexi Rain.
Yes.
So
our girl Lexi.
That's her new project there. And, of course, BD2.
Yep. Looking forward to that. Friends
of ours. And I still might go see the Abruptors instead. Anyway. Going on Saturday, Mass Casualty and Of Desolation host a night of destruction February 15th at Tudor Lounge with prog metal masters Weapon X and classic thrash punk band Bastard Bastard Bastard. Doors at 7 p.m., bands at 8 p.m. And again, that's Mass Casualty, Of Desolation, Weapon X, and Bastard Bastard Bastard. $5 cover at the door at the Tudor Lounge.
That sounds fun.
You know, I got asked to play... to work the door at the Tudor Lounge this past weekend.
Yes.
I got the text asking, "Hey man, are you working Saturday?" And I said, "By working, do you mean sitting in my studio and recording? Because if so, yeah, probably." And he says, "Yes, that's exactly what I meant." I said, "Okay, well, you know, what's up?" He says, "Well, you know, I need somebody to work the door at Tudor." So I looked to see what the show was, and I saw this. I saw this band name. I don't remember the band name. But it said, now with 100% more, guy that you can't stand. Guy that... I'll leave his name out of it. You guys probably know who I'm talking about anyway. But so I wrote back to Ryan. I said, man, you know, I would love to, I won't even consider this because... this guy is the worst piece of shit I have ever met. So, I didn't end up working that show. I don't know if I hope he found somebody to work it. Actually, I'm sure he did because he was at
Machine Head.
He was at the Machine Head show.
He was right up at the guardrail. It was so fun. It was such a great show. We'll talk about that.
Well, anyway, also Saturday at the Montage Music Hall, it is Poison the Prophets, along with A Day Without Rain, Caustic Method, and The Silence Broken. That's February 15th, 2020, Montage Music Hall, 7:30 p.m. doors, $5 charge for patrons under 21, and $16 and up. So does it mean if you're over 21, you don't have to pay? Is that what that is? That's why he's giving you free tickets, because you don't have to pay for them.
Because I'm young. Yeah, so that's
general admission is $8.
Okay.
If you're under 21, you have to pay an additional $5. That's what I'm getting out of this.
Okay.
So, there you go. That's Saturday at Montage Music Hall in Rochester, where you can catch the Living Brain Dead May 1st with Green Jello on Bill Manspeaker's birthday.
Yeah, that should be pretty fucking cool.
All right, what do we got going on here? This is Infringement Festivals. I wonder where he got this idea. Blackheart post-Valentine's Day fundraiser. After celebrating Festivus, Buffalo Infringement Festival is back at it with our February 15th Blackheart Fundraiser. Featuring Stress Dolls, Ian McEwen, This, Muddle, and The Scarecrow Show. So basically, if you've ever been to a struggling productions show that was not the band with the artist, you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Can't think
Yeah, Pocket Vinyl.
Pocket Vinyl. If you've ever been to a struggling production show that didn't have Pocket Vinyl on it, you can go see it again on Saturday at Milky's. So we'll have local artists selling their wares, live painting by Crispy Dreams and others on hand for a fun night raising money for a good cause. What's the cause?
The Infringement Festival.
Oh, that's a good cause? Hey, whatever. I digress. Anyways. But, you know, where the real place to be on Saturday is Tudor Lounge.
Yeah.
Because come join us on February 15, 2020 to celebrate Chris Farley's birthday. This is why you come to this show. This is why you skip everything else. You come to this show. There will be cake and music and lots of balloons. This will be a night we will not forget. We will also be inviting Adam Sandler. So fingers crossed, hoping he shows.
Nice.
Why would you invite Adam Sandler and not David Spade? But that's beside the point. But anyway.
Maybe they like him better.
Well, who doesn't like Adam Sandler better than David Spade? But still.
I fucking hate Adam Sandler.
But still, you know, David Spade worked with Chris Farley a lot.
Yes.
Oh, I think I have the answer. Let's see. Open. Mohawk. What did I say?
Tudor?
Did I say? I don't know what I said. Whatever. Mohawk Place. That's where it is. That's what I meant, and that's where it is. And of course, that is Yellow Sauce, Those Guys, At the Helm, and Pollywampus.
That's such a great name.
I'm not familiar with them, so
Neither
I'm
am I.
interested. And this is the first Yellow Sauce show this year.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see how things go since we haven't played together in quite a while.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen Yellow Sauce, any of the guys from Yellow Sauce since that show.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a great Ryan Burrows story that I told a couple of weeks ago since then, but
Yeah.
But you know, I haven't seen Leland, I haven't seen Ryan. I've done some narration for stuff. So but yeah, come on out Mohawk Place on Saturday. Celebrate Chris Farley's birthday. Hope Adam Sandler shows up. Dude, I'd love to.
I bet he does.
I'd love for Adam Sandler to show up. That'd be cool.
That would be great.
I know you don't
even
like
though I
Adam.
don't like him, it would still be great.
I know you don't like Adam Sandler, but I might just bring a copy of like The Longest Yard or something and be like, yo, sign this. Mean Machine. I don't know why the only Adam Sandler movie I could think of off the top of my head is The Longest Yard.
I don't think I've seen. Actually, I know I haven't seen that one because I don't watch Adam Sandler movies.
I love the young. It's not an Adam Sandler movie. Because
say that again.
It's not an Adam Sandler movie.
Okay.
It's based. It's a remake of a Burt Reynolds movie.
Oh.
So it's you know, Adam Sandler does play the main character, but it's not, you know, his usual Adam Sandler, you know, Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison kind of stuff. It's a slightly more serious role. Terry Crews is fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just, you know, it's full of WWE, you know, well, now former WWE wrestlers because they're all mostly retired. Except for some reason, Bill Goldberg has a title shot at the Saudi Arabia show this month. I don't understand that, but whatever. I don't book. I just watch. Anyway, yeah, no, Longest Yard's a great movie. Own it on DVD. Anyway, so this show is Saturday at Gene McCarthy's Old First Ward Brewing Company, and it is Finnegans Punch. Enjoy good beer and live Irish music by Finnegans Punch in a friendly atmosphere for a great Saturday night with no cover charge at Gene McCarthy's Old First Ward Brewing Company.
Sally's in that.
Oh, she is.
See?
How about that? 73 Hamburg Street, Buffalo, New York. You could get your Sally fix over the weekend. You go see Over and Out on Friday and this Finnegans Punch on Saturday.
That would be great.
Yeah.
There's not enough of Sally.
No, she's tiny.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. You see, you don't get enough of her Friday because she's so small. You got to go see her again Saturday. Going on Sunday at Mohawk Place, it's the Endorphins from Massachusetts with Cheap Peach and the Surfs. I had to go back and look at it. So Boston Mohawk Place and Happy Nomad Booking invite you to shred your Sabbath away with Boston Psych Punks, the Endorphins. Cheap Peach and the Surf stores at $5, 18 and up. Since forming in 2016, the Endorphins have honed a sound that fuses shoegaze textures with punk aggression and developed a strong local following with its pleasantly chaotic live shows. I actually might want to check this out.
I know.
Because I want to see how because shoegazing is like, if for those of you who don't know, that's if you ever go see a band and they just use so many effects that they're just staring down at their pedal board the whole time. That's what shoegazing is.
Oh.
Because it looks like they're staring at their shoes. And, I'm in a punk band, and I've got all this capability to play all these different sounds, and I just don't know, I can't think of any ways to, like, incorporate them. So this might be actually kind of interesting to check out and say, hey, what are these guys doing that I can maybe, get influenced from?
Yeah.
So that's going on Sunday at Mohawk Place. What time? From 8 a.m. to 12 a.m.
I'm sure that's not accurate.
I'm sure it's probably not, especially since the flyer says 8 p.m. That seems like something pretty cool. If not, I mean, I might even at least just listen to the band and kind of be like, okay, what effects are they using?
Yeah.
Like, I just totally got back into music, and now I'm just like, okay, I need effects. I need this. I need that. I need the. And I play. I use a modeler as my amp, and so I was sitting there like, hey, what do I do if something happens to this thing? Maybe I should just buy this amp that I'm modeling as a backup. And I went on. So I did a quick search. Like I found out what the model that I'm using is based on. And I did a quick search, and I'm like, yeah, I can't afford $2,300 for that amp. It's a Mesa Boogie rectifier, dual rectifier. I was like, ooh, yeah, no, I can't afford that. I'll just buy another modeler if something happens to this one. FTMP Events presents The Cryptics with Voice of Dissent, Squint, Obsolete, and Moonscar, Thursday, February 18th, $10, no cover. That's over a week away. No, Tuesday, sorry. I said Thursday. February 18th, $10 cover, 18 and up, with ID. Required, no ID equals no entry. Doors open at 6 p.m. at Stamps the Bar, 98 Main Street in Tonawanda, New York.
Yeah.
Just go for Voice of Dissent. I don't know any of the other bands. Just go for Voice of Dissent.
Yeah, I don't know any of the other bands either.
I like the spelling of obsolete.
Obsolete.
Obsolete. I wonder if they got that Matt Hardy influence going on.
I feel like they've been around since before.
They're obsolete and they're going to delete you. Anyway, I don't know. Let's find out more about them. Let's click on their page because we got a couple of minutes before we have to get into the next song.
Yeah.
See, they don't even have a picture, so I don't think they've been around long. But their page was created in 2014, so...
Yeah, so there.
They had a jam sesh in November 2014, and that was, like, literally their last status.
That's funny.
So, I'm thinking maybe somebody tagged the wrong obsolete. But then again, they're followed by people I know, so...
Yeah.
Who knows? And then again, the Living Brain Dead page has been around since, like, 2011, so...
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Sure, it'll tell me. Ooh. We need one more like, guys. If you haven't liked the Living Brain Dead, go like us, and we'll be at 700 likes.
That's awesome.
We're at 699. We don't even have music out yet. What the hell? That's cool. We got 713 followers, but only 699 likes. Because it's weird. Like, you can't find a like button on some of these pages anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. Page created September 1st, 2011.
Oh, okay.
And the band wasn't a thing until 2019, so... yeah, so a bunch of good shows coming up this week.
Yeah.
Especially this weekend, especially Friday, there's a few choices, and Saturday there's a few choices, and
yeah.
Sunday there's that really cool punk show that looks like it's going on. I want to stay home and watch the XFL, though. What talk about that when we come back. We're going to play a song by a band playing the Blackheart Ball on Friday nights.
Ooh, who?
This is BD2.
Ooh.
Last time I saw BD2, you're wearing a, but that's
This is old school.
That's a different band.
I know.
That's Billy Draws 2. This is
know.
BD2. It's probably a good thing we're not actually recording video this week because they can't see me roll my eyes. Anyway, no, seriously though, BD2. Last time I saw them play, Billy got kicked in the face.
Yeah, he's okay.
So, maybe see if anything similar happens this time around. And this is BD2. This song is called After the Fall on All WNY, the Think So Joe Show. BD2 on All WNY.
I'll never get used to BD2.
Yeah, well, we've known him as Billy Draws 2 for the longest time. But,
yeah, like a really, really long time.
I just got the email to buy tickets for tomorrow night, even though I've already got them.
Oh, yeah?
Don't miss your chance to relive one of the most iconic decades in Sabres history on Thursday, February 13th, when we present 2000s Night, presented by KeyBank. The team takes on the Columbus Blue Jackets at 7 p.m., and there will be alumni appearances by legends of the era like Danny Briere, Jason Pominville, J.P. Dumont, Tim Connolly, Brian Campbell, and others. Plus, the first 10,000 fans will receive a commemorative pennant.
So we got to get there early.
We got to get there, and seriously, though, have you seen the way this team's been playing? You think they're going to have 10,000 people there tomorrow night? Anyways, yeah, no, I still got to put our 90s night pennants up. You know what? I'll tell you what, if anybody's got a red odd night shirt and needs the 90s night pennant, I'll trade you.
There we go.
I have an extra. I will trade. I need the red Odd Night shirt. I got the rest. Still need the red one. Not paying $40 on eBay for it. Or buying a knockoff one from Indonesia. Anyway.
I respect that.
I mentioned the XFL before we went to break.
Yes.
And so there's this meme going around now that says, like, oh, you know, the worst team in the NFL should play against the champions of the XFL under XFL rules, and then if the NFL team loses, they get demoted to the XFL, and the XFL winner goes to the NFL. and Kevin says to me, Kevin comments, he says, when does the XFL even start anyway? I said, dude, it started this weekend. You missed some great football. And he said, oh, well, you know, they suck at marketing then. And I said, you know what? I will agree with you on this because I thought the first game was 5 o'clock on Fox. Turns out there was an earlier game on ABC. I took a nap. I woke up. I saw half my timeline was, oh, man, this XFL game's actually pretty good. So I'm like, well, shit, I got to tune in this XFL game. So I go to try and tune into the XFL game on Spectrum. And as it turns out, there was a huge outage.
Of course.
No, just like throughout the entire Northeast, Spectrum had a huge outage that affected a shit ton of people, us included, because I couldn't get the game through Spectrum. So I tried to get the game through ABC's app, and ABC's app wouldn't let me do it. And I thought to look on ESPN first because ESPN, ABC, they're the same thing. Basically, they're owned by all owned by Disney. So one of the ESPN app, and I overlooked the game apparently because I think the two teams that were playing at the time, I thought it was a soccer game. Oh, because of the logos.
So you're not used to them yet.
Because I don't know them yet exactly. So I tuned in for the second half of that game, and it was an incredible half of football, and then I tuned in for all the rest of the XFL games this weekend, and I gotta say, I haven't quite picked a team to root for yet, but I'm leaning towards Dallas, and I'll tell you why. Because I'm watching the Dallas game, which is the last game on Sunday. Watching the Dallas game, quarterback's up to the line, he's calling plays, and he's over there and he's yelling, "Banana, banana, banana!" I'm like this motherfucker's spitting. Have you seen those memes? I don't know if you've seen those memes.
No, I have not.
It posts rap lyrics, and then it posts somebody who would enjoy that with the line, "This motherfucker's spitting."
Oh, okay.
So yeah. Anyway, I thought the games were really good this weekend, and I'm looking forward to this coming weekend. And I think as long as the XFL sticks with football, which was the problem the last time. I'll tell you what I told my buddy Mike, old school Mike Rickard, is the difference between the old XFL and the new XFL is the new XFL is. This is a football league. This is complementary to the NFL. The old XFL was, this is a complementary product to the WWF Attitude Era that just happens to have a football. So they got way too gimmicky and over the top, and like nobody gave a shit after a few weeks of the old XFL. This XFL, like the football's really good. The presentation is excellent.
Yeah.
The rule changes are nice, and I'm looking forward to seeing some more football on the weekends now.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to. You know what? I just got asked about the new Green Day album. I haven't had time to listen to the new Green Day. I did sit down. I listened to the first couple of tracks, but I already heard them because they were singles. I'm really, really hoping that this was just kind of Green Day's way to say, we're done with our record contract, guys. We'll see you. Sorry for hitting the microphone, by the way, guys. We're done with our record contract. Here's an actual Green Day album. I'm still hoping that happens. Even though the rumored Green Day album turned out to be a hoax. Oh. But still got released. if you don't know this story, there was some kids. I can't think of the name of the band off the top of my head. But there's these kids, and they saw that there was this rumor going around about a new secret Green Day album that they had been working on alongside the new album Father of All Motherfuckers or whatever it's called. And like there was a fake track listing going around. So these kids just kind of said, "Hey, you know what'd be cool? Let's take those track titles. Let's do as an exercise, as a challenge. Let's make a Green Day album." And as they're doing this Green Day album, this quote unquote Green Day album, they started dropping hints and made like a fake album cover and started like posting shit to Reddit, and people were picking up on it, and they're like, "No, seriously, the new Green Day, like Green Day's working on a secret album."
Yeah.
And like they had a title and everything, and they, were posting snippets of songs and had people convinced that Green Day was working on a second album. A second concurrent album with the one that just came out. And eventually they revealed the whole thing. They showed all the, stuff that they did. They showed some of the reactions on Reddit to some of the stuff they did. They showed how they went about basically replicating Green Day's sound and making it actually sound like a Green Day album. That album was fantastic. They've actually released a portion of it. I don't think they've released the whole thing.
That's interesting.
I wish I could remember the name of the band though, because I would definitely recommend checking it out. I could probably find it because I posted it on my buddy's wall because I figured, hey, you're a Green Day fan. What do you think? No, I miss old Green Day. You know what I mean? I don't like being that guy because I know what it's like to be, on the other end of that as a fan of a band. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Metallica hasn't had a good album since 1988. I get that all the time.
Then.
I get that. I hear that all the time. So I don't want to be that guy that's like, well, Green Day's last good album was American Idiot. But
I feel like I've heard you say that before.
But I have said that I think my biggest problem with the Green Day albums is, ever since American Idiot was just this epic rock opera that Green Day was like, fuck it, we're going to do like like The Who, and we're going to make a punk rock opera. And we'll even have it like they even had a Broadway show they built around it. And everything. And then, like, I can forgive 21st Century Breakdown. Yeah, that's the name of the album. I can forgive that because that was kind of like an extension to American Idiot, and some of the songs are even in the musical. Mm-hmm. Right? So then, after those two albums, Green Day's like, okay, we're going to return to our roots now. And we're going to release these 3 EPs, all separately. So now you have to buy 3 albums to get one album. Well, I guess that's not even true because they were all like 13 tracks each. So, but we're going to release these 3 albums. So Green Day releases these 3 albums. They're all terrible. There is one good song on the entire trilogy, and like ESPN played it to death.
Oh no. Because
it was a good sports song.
Oh.
So it's like, man, you ruined the one good song on Uno, Dos, and Tre. And they actually released a complimentary documentary to those 3 albums, which I actually own and have never watched, which is called Quattro. So then they're like, okay, maybe we missed the mark here. We're gonna definitely return to our pop punk roots on this next album, Revolution Radio. Terrible fucking album. Terrible. And then they were just, I don't know what happened to them wanting to get back to the roots. They just kind of said, fuck it, we're indie rock now. Here's Father of All You Motherfuckers. So, I'm hoping that now that they're out of the record deal with this release of this new album, maybe now they'll be like, okay, so how do we be Green Day again? How do we not be... I don't even know what band to compare them to because I don't listen to the crap that they sound like now. You know what I
don't.
mean?
Yeah.
It's what I assume 21 Pilots sounds like. I don't know.
I don't know.
But, you know, how do we be Green Day again? I'm hoping that now that they're out of the record label, don't have executives pressuring them to make pop albums and shit like that. I'm hoping maybe they'll be like, how do we be Green Day again on this next record?
Yeah.
But first, let's do this Hella Mega Tour with Fall Out Boy and Weezer. Which, you know, if you're going to put out a pop record, I guess those are two rock bands you can tour with, is Fall Out Boy and Weezer.
Pretty true. That is a pretty epic show, though.
Oh, absolutely. I would love, as much as I don't like anything past American Idiot, I would go to that.
Yeah, I would not go to that.
I saw...
That's three bands I do not enjoy.
The last time Green Day was coming around, I decided, like, you know what, I might want to go to this. And then I looked at the set lists from recent shows.
Yeah.
And they were about half before American Idiot and half after American Idiot. So I'm like, you know what? If that was more like 66-33, I would probably be interested. But like half and half, I'm not interested. Because all the songs I like by Green Day, aside from those on American Idiot, I've already seen them play live.
Oh.
And I know what you're all thinking. Didn't you just say you got Guns N' Roses ticket? And what about Chinese Democracy? Chinese Democracy was a fantastic album. Just nobody gave it a fucking chance. Everybody's, Slash isn't on it. It's not Guns N' Roses. What they don't know is Slash wrote half the fucking songs on it. But anyway. And they still play some of those songs today. And they're fantastic additions to their set.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also found out, this is what happened was I bought my ticket to Guns N' Roses. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know what? Guns N' Roses coming to Toronto. I'm going to get a better seat than I had the last time. I would love to get Pitt, but I'm not paying $500 for a concert ticket.
Fuck that.
So I'm like, all right, where can I sit that's affordable? And it was like $500 Canadian. So it wasn't like $500, but still. I'm like, where can I sit that's affordable? So I looked in the 100 level and I found the equivalent of $100 US I paid for my ticket.
Okay.
So, like, all right, cool. Like, I've paid more for concert tickets before when I went to see Metallica in Foxborough. But it's like, all right, let me do this. Let me buy this ticket because this is going to be good enough, I guess. It's better than sitting in the 200 level or 300 level or whatever the nosebleed equivalent seats are at that crumbling pile of a stadium we have in Orchard Park is. So I messaged my buddy Pat because I bought my bus tickets and I'm like, shit, you know what, man? I'm going to be in Toronto like basically overnight. So, if you want to hang out after the Guns N' Roses show or whatever. And a couple hours later, he messages me back and he says, Smashing Pumpkins opening. And sent me a link to the post on the Smashing Pumpkins page. Now, keep in mind, I messaged him 2 hours before he sends this message. I click on that link. That post saying the Smashing Pumpkins were playing was only 42 minutes old at the time.
Oh.
So they announced they were opening after I had already bought my ticket.
And you were happy.
And I'm just like, holy shit, I get to go see the Smashing Pumpkins on accident.
On accident.
Like, I'm accidentally going to see one of the biggest bands of the 90s.
Yeah.
And I'm super happy about that because I've never gotten to see the Smashing Pumpkins. And we were discussing, they're another band that I liked their earlier stuff.
Yeah.
We're watching some 90s music videos over the past couple of days and Bullet with Butterfly Wings came on and you just kind of looked at me like, hey, aren't you going to see them? Because apparently I don't shut up about this. I said, yeah, I'm going to go see them. And so I said, yeah, I get to go see them. That's cool. And then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, you know what, though? Like, I don't like anything past this album.
But it'll probably still be a really good show.
So I just went and I looked at their last few shows. They're playing the same set list every night. And one of my favorite songs by the Smashing Pumpkins is on Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. It's called Muzzle. They're not playing it.
Oh.
They haven't played it at recent shows anyway. So I kind of tweeted like, "Hey, Smashing Pumpkins, Billy Corgan, can you guys play this song in Toronto, please?" You know? I mean, I know that never works
Unless it's the
Sabres organist
Yes.
asking him to play Rick Astley is. Yeah, you know what? I got to tell you, I was at Revolver yesterday and digging through. They have a section of used vinyl that they just got in.
Mm-hmm.
And so they put it there, and if it doesn't sell, then it goes in with the rest of the used vinyl. So I'm flipping through that, and I came across the Rick Astley album that has Never Gonna Give You Up on it.
Yeah, you told me.
And, well, I told you, I didn't tell them.
Yep.
So I pick up this record, and I look at it, and I go, ha, look at this. And I put it back, and the guy goes, oh, that's a really good record. I'm like, dude, no, you don't understand.
Did you tell him the story?
So I told him, I said, the last time I was here, I was with my buddy Brian. My girlfriend hates being rickrolled. She hates Rick Astley. She hates this song with a passion. And the last time I was here was before Christmas. And my buddy Brian was like, oh, you might be able to find a Rick Astley vinyl. And I couldn't. There was not one there. So I ended up ordering the 45, which was the first week we broadcast live on YouTube. This is the first week we're not broadcasting live on YouTube since then, but that's because neither one of us felt like getting prettied up for the camera.
Yeah.
And we will probably be back on YouTube next week, for those of you wondering. Anyway, so I got you the 45.
Yep, thanks.
And I had also told the guy, you know, I not only got you the 45, but I got you the, I bought you the Specials 40th anniversary vinyl. He said, oh, yeah, you can't go wrong with the Specials. I said, no, man, I totally saw that. I was like, this is coming home with me. And mostly because Christmas was coming up, and I am able to say that I bought you ska for Christmas.
Yep.
And he understood that it was also to balance out that I bought the Rick Astley record, but I also came home with Rancid that night, so...
That's always a good call.
You know, I didn't buy any new vinyl this time, though, just Huey Lewis and the News, Sports, and Hall & Oates H2O. And so, you know, so John jumps into the conversation, my buddy John that I was out with, he jumps into the conversation, he goes... Because I'm like, there's no way in hell I am buying this Rick Astley record. And I put it back, and he goes, well, you know, Valentine's Day is coming up. And I said, you know, I'm not buying this record, dude. Like, no, I can't do that again. So, sorry to disappoint you. You won't be getting a Rick Astley record on Friday. but yeah, it just. And then the other thing the reason I got in this conversation that I was talking about earlier about not really listening to vinyl much, and especially when you're home, because we listen to different music a lot of the time. So there's only like certain vinyl where it's like, okay, yeah, let's listen to that.
Yeah.
So the reason I got in this conversation was I was flipping through the used records, and I had already grabbed the Hall & Oates record by this point, and it was still debating on if I wanted the Huey Lewis, and I'm grabbing through, flipping through the records. And I come across George Michael, Faith. And I pull it out. I'm like, oh, man, you know, like, should I buy this? Like, I don't know. I put it back, and the guy goes, you know, that's a pretty good record. I said, yeah, man, but I don't know I don't know that I'd listen to it. I don't want to buy it if I'm not going to listen to it. You know, like, and he says, you know, so we got into the conversation about, you know, he has to schedule times for himself to listen to vinyl.
Oh.
And I said, man, you know, I really should do that for myself. Schedule a time to listen to vinyl. And then I said, but the problem is, like, I can't listen to half my vinyl with my girlfriend home. Because she doesn't like half the music I listen to.
I never say that you can't listen to anything.
I just don't want to.
I never do that to you.
But the record players are both in the dining room. I still need to, like, clear out space in here so I can put one of them in here.
Yeah.
So that I, you know, can maybe listen to vinyl, like, in between recording and stuff. But,
yeah.
But like, you know, they're both in the dining room. You're often in the dining room or the kitchen. So I don't want to go in there and be like, all right, I don't give a fuck what you're listening to. We're going to listen to Metallica now.
You do that all the time.
I do not. I do not.
No, you won't. You're not like that, but you do listen to your music all the time, which I don't fucking care, but
I just like if you're like usually working in the kitchen.
yeah.
And I don't want to like, and you're always listening to music, and I don't want to interrupt your music to put on whatever the fuck I feel like listening to at the moment. When I can just literally come in here and tell this thing to play a song on Spotify.
Yeah.
If I want to listen to it, or I could go on YouTube and watch the music video, or I can put it on my phone most of the time. So, I don't want to, I don't want to make you listen to music you don't want to listen to. And so I don't. And eventually I'm going to put a record player in the studio here so I can just listen to whatever I want, whenever I want, and not have to worry about that. But, so, that's how I got in the conversation about Pearl Jam and my buddy mentioning that he knows that I don't like Pearl Jam because I don't like Eddie Vedder's voice.
Yeah.
So, which, of course, as we discussed earlier, watching the Jeremy video, I'm like, you know what? I think I just hate this song. So, maybe I'll give Pearl Jam a chance.
Yeah,
Maybe.
we should do that.
Maybe.
We should do that.
One of these days, I'll just come home with a fucking Pearl Jam record. Like, here, this is for you. I gotta figure out, I know the one you like is the one with the song Animal on it.
Yep.
So I'll figure out that one and,
Yep. It's called Versus.
Yeah. We were watching the Temple of the Dog video came on yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, why didn't Chris Cornell teach Eddie Vedder how to sing when they were in Temple of the Dog?
It never stops. It never stops about Eddie Vedder.
Ever hear that Weird Al Yankovic song, My Baby's in Love with Eddie Vedder?
No.
He played it the last time I saw him when we saw him on the I didn't go to the No Strings Attached tour. The one before that, the one where he didn't do any of the parody songs, that tour. He played My Baby's in Love with Eddie Vedder.
I've never heard it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good song. But so yeah, anyway, that was my experience with the new Green Day record is I've listened to like 2 songs on it. And Jasmine says a tiny snippet of a song keeps randomly cutting through your broadcast.
That's interesting.
So I guess we might have some connection issues. It looks like we've been connected the whole time, so I don't know what's up with that. That's thank you for letting me know, though.
Yeah.
If you guys are having trouble actually like hearing the broadcast, it'll be up on the podcast network, on Anchor and 716 Bands. We'll have a YouTube video with the full audio in there and everything for you. No video this week for you guys, though.
Nope.
No video.
Did not feel like it.
You weren't feeling well.
No.
And, I don't think I got enough sleep last night because first of all, my cat woke me up.
Oh, which one?
Squirrel.
Oh, really? Oh, when she knocked all that shit down?
Yeah, well, I came to bed at, 4:30 last night.
Yeah.
I was going to come to bed earlier. I was, looking at my inbox, and I'm like, well, shit, none of this shit's due tonight. I can just wait till, I got through to a certain point. I'm like, I could just, let all this shit go till tomorrow night. And then I'm like, you know what, though? It's all short orders. It's all 200 words or less. I'm going to do all the stuff that's due tonight, that's due tomorrow night. And I'm not going to do any of the stuff that came in tonight. And so I did the ones that were due tomorrow night. And I'm sitting there, and it's 3:45. And I'm like, well, shit, I could probably get a couple of these other ones done by tomorrow, get a couple of these other ones done, have less to do in a couple of days. And then I got those 2 done, and I'm just like, fuck it, I can clear my whole inbox by 4:15. So I ended up doing all my work. I guess not all of my work, because I did have some other work come in that I was like, you know what, if I finish all this tonight, I can have all night tomorrow to do that.
Yeah.
So I was happy about that. And actually I had a client that I've been pretty much ignoring message me today.
Oh, yeah?
He sent me an email. He said, this is going to be the last email I send you. If you don't want to work with me, just tell me. So I'm like, do I tell him or just not, just ignore him and let him not email me anymore? I did the math. He's paying me half what anybody else was paying me. So why the fuck am I gonna drop everything and do his 18 scripts he sends at once?
Oh my, that's overwhelming.
Anyway, but yeah, so so I cleared out my inbox, and of course I woke up this morning to, hey, I have this add-on for last night's job. I need it by 10:30. Can you do it? It's like, fuck it. Yeah, I guess I'll do it. The worst case scenario is FedEx gets here and I miss them and I have to go out and get the package and hope nobody takes it in the time it takes me to do this. But it was literally 90 words. It took me less than a minute and I was done. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Now I can go, put this patch on my vest and listen to Hall & Oates. And,
That's a thing people usually do together, listen to Hall & Oates and put patches on their battle vests.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alice Cooper patches at that. Anyway, but anyway, I got to bed at like 4:30, and I was nice and sleeping and comfortable, and crash.
Oh my God, that stuff's still on the floor. I didn't pick it up.
I'm like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like looking around. I'm trying to see what happened, like what's on the floor, what got knocked over. Because I also had a glass right next to my.
I know you did. That made me really nervous.
So I'm just like, what? I need a cup with a lid like that. Anyway, so I'm like, what the fuck? So now I'm up.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, I need to fall back asleep. I don't want to be up. I don't even. I think it was like 6:30, 7 o'clock or something.
Something like that.
Like I need to go back to sleep. So I managed to fall back asleep a little bit, and I got woken up again. And I don't know how, but I got woken up again, and I was like, shit, I guess I'm up.
Was it when no, that wasn't today, when I said sorry for waking you up?
No, you do that a lot.
I wake him up to apologize for waking him up.
She does. It happens a lot. I know it's song break time. I know Laura's probably getting impatient over on her end. But anyway, but yeah, so I woke up twice. And so, like, then when FedEx got here, I'm like, ooh, new gear.
Yeah.
So I came in here and I plugged everything in and I, set everything up and I started programming everything, and I programmed it 2 different ways so I can use it 2 different ways if I want to. And, and I'm sitting here playing and you're like, hey, can I borrow you after lunch? You made lunch. And like, yeah, sure. And I don't know what you wanted to borrow me for, but you were just laying in bed. So I'm like, all right, I guess that's what we're doing. I laid down.
Yeah, I really just wanted to cuddle.
I laid down. We both fell asleep, and then we woke up and it was like, oh, hey, we got to go set up for the show. No time to get ready, so we'll just not.
We'll skip that.
We'll skip the YouTube this week. We'll be back next week on there, I'm sure. Hoping to start getting some reach that way.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna take a song break and we'll come back and I guess we're talking about cats. Because that was something you said we were talking about.
Oh, we have to talk about cats or Jasmine gets a refund.
Right, exactly. So, okay, this is Poison the Prophets. You can catch them Saturday at Montage Music Hall in Rochester.
Where I'm going to be.
With A Day Without Rain, Caustic Method, and The Silence Broken. You know where I'll be? I'll be at Mohawk Place. Because that's where the cool kids are going to be. Anyway, this is Poison the Prophet. Song is called Addition by Subtraction on all WNY ThinkSoJoE Show. Poison the Prophet on all WNY.
You know when else you can catch them?
When?
The All WNY prom on June 13th. That one is XM Priory and the Living Brain Dead.
Oh, yeah, the show you forgot you booked the Living Brain Dead on.
Listen, I also thought I booked a different band, and I never had a discussion with that band. I wrote down to talk to them, and took that as I wrote down that I did talk to them, and yeah. Anyway, Poison the Prophet, June 13th at Stamps for the All WNY prom.
Yeah.
And Saturday at Montage.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really cool.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, all the cool kids are going to be at Mohawk Place.
If they're stuck in Buffalo.
Buffalo's better than Rochester.
Montage is...
We got the Sabres. They got the Amherst. Mohawk
Yeah.
Place is way better than fucking Montage Music Hall.
I really like Montage. I've had some good memories there.
I've seen some cool bands at the Montage Music Hall in my couple of times there, but I still like Mohawk better.
Mohawk has walls in weird places.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to see.
Montage has lights that look like they're going to fall on you.
No, they don't anymore. They don't anymore.
Anyways. No, you're right. They don't. So please, everybody, come see how well they've fixed up their lighting system on May 1st for Bill Manspeaker's birthday.
Yeah.
Come celebrate with Green Jello and the Living Brain Dead.
Do it.
Yeah.
Who else is on that?
I don't know.
Oh.
I just know it's Green Jello and the Living Brain Dead. Who needs to know
It
anything?
feels good to say.
Who needs to know anything else? I can find out for you, though. We'll find out. Green, of course, they have it written as Green Jelly because they're not cool.
Because copyrights and stuff. Trademarks.
Either way, it's pronounced the same. So it is Green Jello with When Skies Decide, Less Than Hate, and the Living Brain Dead, Friday, May 1st, 2020 at the Montage Music Hall, 7:30 p.m. doors. They like that 7:30 doors thing, don't they?
Maybe.
$5 charge for patrons under 21, 16 and up. It's $15 advance, and I don't know what the at-the-door charge is, but you can get your $15 advance tickets eventually from us whenever we get them. We're still waiting.
Hopefully they come sooner than later.
Hopefully. We gotta sell those. If you don't want to wait, though, and you want tickets to a good show, you can go to a venue that's better than all of those, and that's the Evening Star Concert Hall.
Yes.
In Niagara Falls, why does Niagara Falls have a really good local concert venue? That doesn't make any sense. Niagara Falls sucks. But you could come see us open for Head PE. That is March 14th. That show's coming up just over a month away.
Yeah.
Get your tickets right now, livingbraindead.bandcamp.com. Get some Living Brain Dead merch and make me spend money on shipping, too, while you're at it. But, yeah, so, looking forward. We've got some pretty cool shows coming up. Of course, we've got that show in July down in Olean with the Hovelists.
Yeah.
Get to play Olean for the first time. That's going to be cool. Rochester, the Bill Manspeaker birthday show. That's our first time in Rochester.
That's pretty awesome.
We almost got, like I said, we almost got to do Brooklyn, and it fell through, but maybe sooner rather than later we'll be negotiating another show out there. So
That'd be pretty sweet.
We which is, like I said, we've been around since May. Was when we formed, and we had our first show in August. We haven't released officially any music yet, and we've gotten all these great opportunities, so I can't wait to actually get this EP done and out, and hopefully get some, get some momentum going, and get some more offers going from people who actually know what we sound like. Like that's the craziest thing, because she was all about booking us. And she's like, hey, do you have any music I can hear? And it's like, here's a YouTube playlist of us playing live. She's like, yeah, that's great. Cool. And she was going to book us anyway without even hearing us. So like,
Yeah.
once people hear us, I can't wait to.
Yeah.
We got some buzz, I guess, which surprises the hell out of me. How the fuck did we get buzz? But yeah. But I got we're close. The album art is in the works, and we just gotta get the mixes finalized, and a couple of last things to record. Get the mixes finalized, get it out to the distributors, and get it off to get the CDs printed for us, and all that. So can't wait. It's gonna be great.
It is.
I've heard the rough mixes of just the instrumentals. I haven't heard the vocals, but from what I understand, Kevin's been killing it.
Cool.
And like Brian was gushing over the vocals.
Aww.
And how professional Kevin was coming in to record them, and how prepared he was. And then he says, "Unlike some people," and looks at me.
The guy who didn't bring a guitar pick.
I forgot guitar picks the first time, yeah. And now I just ordered more guitar picks because of the recording sessions.
Yeah.
Like before I went to record, I was thinking, what would be cool is if I had some red guitar picks along with the black ones, because I got the thing that goes on the mic stand, right? So put, red, black, red, black, red, black. Because I used to do black and white ones when I was in ThinkSoJoE, which was ridiculous because I played guitar on like 3 songs. So what the fuck did I need all those guitar picks for? How many times am I going to drop a guitar pick on 3 songs? Anyway, and they were all the same size guitar picks. So when I was recording, Brian hands me a thinner guitar pick, and he's like, try this one. And it was just like, try this one and do this when you're playing. Like, oh, okay. So did that, and I'm like, oh, shit. Like, okay. And so I came home, and I tried to do it with, like, the regular guitar picks. It just wasn't working, the same. So it's like, okay, I got to get some thinner guitar picks. And it also gave me an excuse to get some new red guitar picks. So I ordered those the other day. I don't know if I'm going to have them in time for the Barksdale show. I hope I do. Because I'd like to be able to use them. But, instead of having to, continuously use the really heavy picks throughout the show, because I can't just bring a random thinner pick. It's all about branding.
You're right.
It's got to have the logo on it.
You're so right.
I mean, I suppose, like, I got this Seventh Son Studios guitar pick here.
That works, too.
And we're recording the album at Seventh Son Studios, so I guess technically I could bring that and use that.
Yeah.
But I'd really rather have the album art-inspired color scheme guitar picks with the logo on them. And, yeah. I'm excited. I got the Illustrator windows open with all the different concept art for the album cover.
Oh.
So I've just been like, switching windows and just like, oh, hey, look at that. It's a fantastic looking back cover. Now, if we could just figure out what's going on the front cover.
You guys will get it.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I can't wait. There will be no cats meowing on it because we did it at Brian's house. He's got dogs.
Oh.
There might be dogs barking on it.
Oh, let's talk about the cats.
We're supposed to talk about the cats, or Jasmine's gonna want a refund for her free.
I know. Fucking back us on Patreon, and then you can have a refund for what you're actually paying for.
So this morning, I get this email. This has nothing to do with cats. I get this email, and the subject line of the email is let me actually find this because it needs to be worded properly, I think. But it's from my website host provider, Namecheap. And they sent me an email. It says, Joseph, renew your free SSL for 50% off. And I know exactly what they mean because it's free for the first year and then you have to pay for it.
Okay.
So I know what they mean. Not stupid, I understand what they're trying to tell me. But it's just really weirdly worded. Renew your free SSL for 50% off. 50% off of free?
Man, that's cheap.
That's what that implies, right? Is that not how you would understand that reading the?
Yes.
So I tweeted them and I said, guys, this is a really weirdly worded subject line. And they wrote back and they're like, where'd you see that? It's on this email I got from you guys. And, oh, yeah, we know the email you're talking about. Yeah, you're probably right. Just really strangely worded. Yeah, you know what? Speaking of me bitching on Twitter.
Oh, God.
So I got a email from Bands in Town today.
Yes.
And I'm just like, I just happen to, like, I never open the emails from Bands in Town because I usually have a pretty good I say this, and then, like, bands I like come to town, and I'm just like, why the fuck didn't anybody tell me? But I didn't open the, don't normally open the emails. But I saw this one, and I spotted the name Leftover Crack. Because the last time Leftover Crack played Buffalo, you didn't get to go. You were at one of the early Living Brain Dead shows.
Yep.
It was my birthday show, actually.
It was.
And so I saw Leftover Crack. I'm like, wait, Leftover Crack's coming back? I click on it. It says, Leftover Crack's going to play Rock and Roll Heaven in April on Seneca Street in West Seneca. Like, wait a minute. That's right up the fucking street from us. I got to tell Karina. So open the door. You're in the bathroom. I'm in the studio. Open the door. I say, hey, Leftover Crack's coming to, like, just up the street from us. And you're like, really? When? And I, like, looked at it, and you're like, can you get tickets for us and for my cousin and his girlfriend? Like, let me see how much they are. So I click on it, and the first thing I see is the $22 ticket price. I'm like, okay, you know, maybe I can pull this off and get tickets for everybody if they're going to pay me back or whatever. And then I noticed that the venue was not Rock and Roll Heaven in West Seneca. It was a pizza place in Bakersfield, California.
Not going to that show.
I don't know why my voice squeaked on pizza.
Pizza.
Anyway, so so I'm like, wait, what the fuck just happened? Like, it says West Seneca, and then I click on the ticket link, and it's in Bakersfield, California. What the fuck? So I go and I look up the Casualties, who are also playing on this tour with Leftover Crack, and sure enough, theirs is listed as, you know, this pizza place in Bakersfield, California. What the fuck? Let's go on Facebook, and I find Leftover Crack's Facebook page, and they've got a, you know, graphic with all the tour dates, and that date they're supposedly coming to West Seneca. Nope, they're in Bakersfield, California at a pizza place.
How fucking random and weird that Bands in Town fucked that up.
So I tweeted to Bands in Town, and they were, oh yeah, somebody fucked up. Sorry, you know, in a more professional way. I'm sure. Whoa! Living Brain Dead has one new like.
Oh my gosh!
Did we do it?
You had 3 unlikes.
Let me see. Come on, load it. I don't think it meant page likes. I think it meant post likes.
Oh.
So no, I think we're still at 699.
700.
No, that was the followers. Where'd the likes go? Now I can't find the likes. But we got 714 followers, which is what we had before, so I'm sure the likes are probably still exact. Oh no, we just reached 700 page likes. Nice work.
Yay.
Sweet. Not bad.
Good for you guys.
Not bad for a band with no music out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I tweeted to Bands in Town, and they kind of, apologized.
Yeah. They better get my hopes up like that.
Yeah, I felt bad for telling you, hey, this band's coming, and they're not coming. But I tweeted, hey, Bands in Town, I got an email from you saying the band Leftover Crack was playing up the street from me on April 17th in West Seneca, New York, when in fact they're playing 3,000 miles away from me in Bakersfield, California that night. Get your shit together. And I got a reply from them. Hello, Alexis here. Thank you for reaching out, and apologies for the trouble. This event was added incorrectly and has since been updated. Thanks again for letting us know.
You probably could have done it a little nicer than telling them to get their shit together.
I think they understand. So I tweeted back like, yeah, it's cool, guys. Just I wish I would have realized that before I told my girlfriend they were coming. Because that's just no worries. Just wish I'd noticed it was an error before I told my girlfriend who missed them last time they were in town about it. LOL. So yeah, it's, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But
Yeah. It would have been cool, though.
this is Twitter doesn't know me at all. Look who it's telling me to follow.
Boston.
The Boston Bruins.
Boston.
Fuck the Boston Bruins. Let's talk hockey.
Okay.
And let's not talk the Buffalo Sabres. Actually, let's kind of talk the Buffalo Sabres, but also let's not talk about the Buffalo Sabres at length. First of all, last night they played against Detroit. Big win for the boys, finally, against one of the worst teams in the league, but still.
It's something.
Finally a win. One of the Detroit Red Wings caught a skate to the face from Henry Jokiharju. Obviously accidentally.
Yeah.
And Jokiharju just looked just completely upset on the bench after it happened, because you got the trainers out there holding a towel to this guy's face.
Yeah.
And of course, if you've been following Buffalo Sabres hockey for quite a while, you have seen much worse skate-related injuries happen, particularly Clint Malarchuk comes immediately to mind for longtime Sabres fans. And Thomas Vokoun, formerly of the Florida Panthers, caught a skate in a game against the Sabres here in Buffalo.
Oh.
So these things seem to happen in Buffalo. Vokoun caught his in the throat too, and luckily was able to be tended to by trainers and was able to survive, much like Malarchuk was.
Yeah.
And this guy, from the Red Wings last night catches a skate to the face from Henry Jokiharju in the first period and had to get a bunch of stitches. Luckily, he is okay. Just looks like he got his face slashed open a little bit.
Yeah, jeez.
Brendan Perlini was the guy, and there's a picture somebody had shared on Twitter of him after the game.
Like stitched up and shit.
Oh yeah.
That's not so bad.
No, it doesn't look terrible.
It probably looked awful when it first happened and it was bleeding because stuff on your face.
But do you see where it's like right across his nose?
Yeah,
right across his nose.
It almost took his nose off.
Oh yeah, he almost lost his fucking nose. And of course, it happened in Buffalo. You see the HSBC Arena old scoreboard in the back there, but anyway, and the picture on the wall behind him, the mural. So luckily, he's gonna be okay. And then now, moving to, and we got to wrap this up soon, but moving to Anaheim last night, there was the St. Louis Blues were in town to play against the Ducks. And Jay Bouwmeester of the Stanley Cup champion St. Louis Blues collapsed on the bench, had to be rushed to the hospital.
Yeah.
And the game was stopped.
Yeah.
They postponed the game. They said, we're going to finish this later. Like this is more important right now. Jay Bouwmeester collapsed on the bench on Tuesday night at the Honda Center after having a, quote, cardiac episode. The incident
what does that even mean?
Something to do with his heart. I don't know. But incident occurred with 7:50 left in the first period of the game between the Blues and Ducks, tied at 1-1. His teammates immediately called for help, and medical personnel rushed to him. The game, which was delayed at the 17-year veteran was treated, and concerned players on both sides gathered at center ice, eventually was called off after both teams went to their dressing rooms. Due to the emergency involving Blues defenseman Jay Bouwmeester, tonight's game will be postponed and made up at a later date, the Ducks tweeted. It also showed it on the scoreboard in the arena there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so basically, like, nothing happened to cause it. It just happened.
Yeah.
And he was conscious and alert, so...
That's good.
Yeah, hopefully Jay Bouwmeester's going to be okay. You don't want to see that happen to anybody. It's just, and the same with the skate thing. You don't want to see that happen to anybody.
I know.
We kind of,
dangerous times in hockey.
You hate these guys when you're playing against them, but when they get hurt, you're concerned. And Henry Jokiharju was like, as soon as he realized what happened, he skated right over to check on the guy and make sure he was okay. And just looked distraught on the bench. And and kudos to the NHL and the Ducks for saying, no, we can't finish this fucking game right now.
Yeah.
And hopefully Jay Bouwmeester will be okay. I haven't. They were supposed to update this morning. I haven't looked for it. it was also on the Blues dad's trip. The teams all do like dad's trips.
Oh.
So Jay Bouwmeester's dad was there at the game. So here's hoping he's okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna, you know, and I'm sure the cats wish that he's okay too. Gotta mention the cats one more time. Okay, so anyway, we're going to end the show with a song by Those Guys.
Oh, those guys?
Those Guys.
Oh, those guys.
Who are playing Saturday at Mohawk Place with Yellow Sauce at the helm and Polly Wampus, Chris Farley's birthday bash. Adam Sandler is invited. So here's hoping he doesn't pull a John Stamos and no-show.
Well, it's not like not going to his own birthday party.
This is true. John Stamos, you're an asshole for not showing up to the birthday party we threw you. Nah, we love John Stamos. Anyway.
We love John Stamos' hair.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking about that yesterday, how jealous I am that man still has a luxurious head of hair.
It's plugs.
And maybe. Who knows?
Might be.
Anyway, this is Those Guys. This song is called Wonder Why on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show. We'll see you next week. Any second now. There it is.
Bad disease.